All right. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. This is the Daily Oats. I'm your co-host Colton. Got my boy Harrio with me today, and it's been a little bit since we kind of did one recently, not too long ago, but kind of wanted to switch things up a little bit today.
Yeah,
Kind of wanted to.
yeah, it's been a crazy past month, I guess. Yeah, it's been about a month. Well, technically, at least 3 weeks. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wife and I had a little boy. He's
Okay. Congratulations.
yeah. So today's Thursday, September 26th. He is exactly 3 weeks old at this point. So yeah, that's kind of crazy, and yeah, we're not getting any sleep because he's a newborn and all that. So yeah, it's been hard to schedule stuff and just get anything like set in stone and actually like done. It's been crazy. So
Man.
it's good to finally kind of be back to normal a little bit. So
Right. All right. Well, congratulations, then, Harrio, with to you and your wife. Happy always to have a little Harrio running now into the world with some Star Wars and Legos and stuff.
oh yeah, man, I can't wait till he gets a little older when he can actually start like building Lego, and then like we can start playing basketball and all that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
So I wonder what you're gonna do when he are you gonna let him show off are you gonna let him near the Lego collection, or what you gonna do?
Man, that's tough. I don't know. I don't know if I want to let him in here. Well, I mean, he can look around. I don't know if I'm gonna let him touch anything just yet.
Oh no.
Stuff's kind of fragile, especially that gunship in the corner. You can't really.
Oh yeah. My
Yeah,
gunship is right next to me.
Yeah, you touch that thing, it's gonna go over. So,
Oh yeah.
I got to be careful. I'll set
Oh
out
yeah.
pieces for him to build and stuff, and I don't know if I'll let him touch any of this. Just I don't know. Got to
You
be
gotta
careful.
you gotta make him start learning early though. I mean,
Yeah,
getting a little
yeah,
some Star Wars play sets. Let him figure out who the best character is of all time. That's Boba Fett, by the way.
yep, yep. That is true. That is true. That is definitely true. I agree with that.
Speaking of Boba Fett, I think we got some new Legos coming out, don't we?
We sure do. We sure
Oh,
do. Let's
man.
hop right in.
Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and hop right into this. We doing a little research with mine and Harrio's end, and next month of Legos, we there's not a new batch of Legos coming out, and we're gonna kind of do just a small little deep dive into some of the new ones that are coming out. There, like we said, there's not a lot coming out. Specifically, one of the ones why I referenced Mr. Boba Fett is the UCS Jabba Sail Barrage. So with this Sail Barrage, Harrio, what's your thoughts behind this Sail Barrage?
Man. When they first announced it, I was really excited. Couldn't wait to actually see it in person. Once I saw it in person, still really cool, but I don't know. It just feels a little. It feels a little pricey, if I'm being honest. It feels a bit pricey, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for the minifigures, I feel like they should have added a couple more, and I feel like some of them don't look as premium as they should for a UCS set. They look kind of like something you'd see out of your $40-$50 play set, and not like they didn't like make anything special for this UCS set like they should have, given the price that they put it at. So
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And just to kind of do a touch base of what the Jabba Sail Barrage is, it takes place in Return of the Jedi, and it's essentially when Luke, Han, Chewie, Lando, and prisoner Princess Leia were were basically overlooking the Sarlacc pit, and in the Sarlacc pit, Luke, Han, were pressured to go into the Sarlacc pit, and Jabba sailed Barrage, which we all know who Jabba is. I feel like with these minifigures, I do like how they got a couple minifigures, aka I think his name is Bilbo, this little blue guy, and they were Gamorrean Guard, Bib Fortuna, which I do like the R2D2 the tea set with the little drinks on top.
Yeah,
I do like that a lot.
Yeah, that was mandatory. They had to do that.
Mm-hmm. So I do like. I think it is a little bit overpricey for $500 personally. So I'm really agreeing with you on that too, Hario. I feel like they could have done a little bit more minifigures or iconic minifigures. Definitely would like to have seen Boba Fett for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like he's very iconic of him flying out of the barrage, and even though I do know they just came out with they do already have the Desert Skiff set, which essentially they are wanting you all to buy the Desert Skiff set and this set to kind of pair it up like the movie. I just feel like they should have made some more minifigures personally for the set overall. So we see it's 3,942 pieces, $500, 11 minifigures, and it comes out October 6th. If you're a Lego insider like me and Harry, of course, it will come out October 3rd through October 5th. So,
yeah. See, when they kind of forced you to buy the Desert Skiff to go along with this set, I think that was a mistake. And that thing too. That, I mean, $80 for that. I don't know. It's a little pricey.
mm-hmm.
I think they should have just included the Skiff and Sarlacc pit with the UCS set and given you all the minifigures that it has. And at that point, yeah, I wouldn't mind spending the $500 that the sail barge is now. But the fact they separated those and they're almost forcing you to buy it if you actually want to have all the characters that were in that scene and just all the elements that were in that scene is, I don't know, that's kind of, I don't know. I feel like they're getting a little greedy at times, unfortunately.
Right. No, I get that. No, I feel that completely. But we won't spend, too much time on this one because we do have another one that is coming out. And this one isn't really too much special. It's just like it's the Imperial dropship and the Rebel Scout speeder, which I think this is just basically just like a minifigure extra to like build armies and stuff with.
Yeah.
Nothing too particular. It does come with a random pink droid, which is Q2KT. Not sure if I've heard of that one, but
I definitely have not.
Yeah, comes with it is a 25th anniversary though minifigure, so always got to try and collect those for the 25th year. But basic set, come with 3 Rebel Troopers, 3 Stormtroopers. So what is it? $40. Nothing, maybe a little bit overpriced.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think it's a overall decent set.
Yeah. I do have the original of this. It released in like 2008 or something. I don't know. It's it looks similar to this, and I think you get the same amount of minifigs. There's a chance you get 4 instead of. You might get 4 instead. Actually, I think you get 4 instead of 3. 4 Rebel Troopers and 4 Stormtroopers. But yeah, the speeder and the little dropship, pretty much the same design. But yeah, it's just from a while back, and you might get an extra fig. So
yeah, okay, cool. Well, as that right now, those are kind of the main new Star Wars sets that are coming out. Not a lot of too many new Lego sets that are coming out. But we do have some some information on a couple of new ones that are be coming out next year. So I'll go ahead and show you guys. We'll show you and kind of discuss. We're using one of our very prominent sources named Falcon Bricks, and some of the stuff that that they are coming out with a Botanical Garden 2025, multiple stuff of that. One thing that they are coming out, as they see, is a new modular building, which is amazing because we're both currently in the prominent setting of making a city and stuff. So here's a little bit of something for Star Wars next year. For 2025, we'll be getting apparently the UCS of Jango Fett's Slave One. Pretty nice. It might be $239, so not too pricey. Didn't say how many pieces it's going to be. 2 minifigures. So not too bad.
No, I'm assuming it's probably going to be about the same size as Boba Fett's that they have. I guess probably, which is good size. So
yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be around the same size as well. The Slave One Boba Fett is a phenomenal UCS set. It would look really cool if the Jango Fett Slave One synced or linked right next to Boba Fett Slave One. Overall, those two would look very, very nice together.
For sure.
So I think we have some more stuff going on. Let me see some Legos, some Star Wars. There we go. So a couple other stuff that could be coming out. They have a buildable Star Wars Lego set, the logo. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll definitely be buying that.
Same here. I think that looks very nice, actually.
Yeah.
If this is it, But I like that. I think that's gonna be a must for that set too, or a must to get for Star Wars Lego lovers. Just to put it in design for some decor to put in your room and stuff too.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a very nice one. Gonna be rumored to cost $79.99. Don't know if there is going to be minifigures. Don't know.
Yeah. It would be really cool if they threw in like a George Lucas minifigure.
Oh, yes.
Like an exclusive George Lucas minifigure. That would be insane.
Yes. Oh, for sure. It would be needed, essentially, actually. Just because it's George Lucas and Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see them doing that if they do decide to add a figure.
Yeah, I get that. That'd be good. I think it's right now. I think the price at $80 is pretty solid. I don't think it's over much, or I don't think it's over less. I think that would be like a perfect amount.
Yeah, I agree.
So it looks like we're getting a Jango Fett helmet too. Looks like we're gonna get a Jango Fett helmet. Wait a minute. Interesting. So it says there's gonna be a rumored price tag of $80. Not bad.
No.
Not bad. Yeah, okay. Not too bad then. Not too bad at all.
No. Yeah, I was just thinking, I totally forgot that they hadn't even made a Jango Fett helmet. I wasn't even thinking, but yeah, they haven't made one.
Interesting. I think that's gonna be good though. I'm really excited to see more of the helmets starting to make a comeback. That would be absolutely great if they do make a comeback. So, really looking forward to that. Let's see, what else do we have then? What about? Oh, I don't know why that's on there. A buildable chopper, like that. Like to see a buildable chopper.
Yeah.
So not too bad, at least. It's similar to R2D2 CP3O. I'm hoping it's gonna look a lot better than, for one, the what's it called? The Chewbacca, because that Chewbacca, ooh wee.
No, I
Terrible.
did. Yeah, I did not like that one bit.
Yeah. I did not like that one at all. Like, that one was. No. No. Definitely did not. And I think that's right now some of the rumored ones are going to be out.
Okay.
I did hear, and I'm hoping there's another one in here, because I did hear from a little birdie about the AT-AT helmet, or the AT-AT driver pilot as a new helmet too.
Mm. Mm.
Did hear about
Okay.
that. Don't know for sure though,
Okay.
but we're gonna have to wait and figure out and see if that's actually true or not.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. One little thing I wanted to touch on concerning the UCS sail barge. So, gift with purchase, you get Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
It honestly looks pretty good. It looks pretty dang good. Obviously they've had Anakin's lightsaber, and then they've also had Yoda's lightsaber. And I totally forgot about Anakin's. I actually have Yoda's. I forgot what set it came with. It might have been the cantina. I don't really remember how I got Yoda's lightsaber, but I did. So I have his. Haven't opened it yet, but I have that one. Missed out on Anakin's for some reason. And now we got Luke's, which it does look pretty good.
It does. It does.
Yeah. So ever since I saw Yoda's lightsaber, I wanted Lego to literally just make a buildable series of lightsabers. Just kind of like what they did with the helmets. Just a series of just characters' lightsabers. I think they would be insanely popular, and they would sell like crazy. And hopefully, maybe Lego kind of listens to the fans and goes that route instead of hiding a lightsaber behind a $400, $500 price tag.
Right.
Depending on the character, I'm willing to. I would definitely pay like $80 for a lightsaber hilt. I would. They would. If they did that, I think people would buy them like crazy. I think they'd be extremely popular. But as of right now, they're just kind of. It's kind of you gotta buy the UCS set to get them.
Right.
Maybe that changes in the near future, but we shall see.
Now I'm actually curious now, Harry, with the lightsabers. Would you only buy the Jedi lightsabers, or would you also, if they had to incorporate a poll, if people had to choose either Jedi lightsabers or Sith lightsabers, which one would you go with and why?
Man. So they have some insanely cool Sith hilts out there. Oh man. That's really tough because Obi-Wan's kind of my guy, so I would at least need his. I would need his post Phantom Menace. I like them both, but I like the one post Phantom Menace better. I would definitely need that one. And then after that, honestly, I'm not too picky, and I would probably in that case just switch over to Sith. For sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Because there are a lot they can do. There's a lot they can do.
Yeah, I like that. And kind of just touch on that real quick. I like to see the Sith ones personally. I think especially with like specific lightsaber Sith users such as Kylo's lightsaber with the cross of a blade, or seeing Count Dooku and Asajj Ventress and their hilts being curved, and even essentially seeing Sidious dual lightsabers. I know a lot of people don't know that Sidious had dual lightsabers, but in the Clone Wars, we get to see him using them first action versus none other than Darth Maul and fan favorite from the Clone Wars, Savage Opress. I would like to see Savage Opress's lightsaber, and I would also like to see essentially Darth Vader lightsaber
Yeah,
too. So
for sure. Yeah, and I think when you look at the Count Dooku and Asajj Ventress hilts specifically, obviously with them being curved, you're probably gonna have to introduce like the
hmm
Technic brick layout to
right,
kind of give you that angle. So I think that would be a cool build too.
right. Yeah, no, that's good. Speaking of more Star Wars stuff, I think we decided to do a little bit of a discussion about some of the live action Star Wars shows. And I wouldn't even say essentially a discussion, but more so of ranking our top five, actually. And just a just a kind of a question as well, Harrio. Will we want to include any type of cartoons in this, or just we just doing strictly the live action?
So, I mean, we could totally include cartoons. Honestly, they're probably at the top of the list. For being
Mm-hmm.
honest, they're at the top of the
Mm-hmm.
list. But yeah, we could.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Well, do you want me to go ahead and start kind of give you my top five and
Yeah,
give you a
sure.
detail of why? So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and start out with the fifth. I'm gonna start out with the Acolyte. So, Acolyte is, as most people know, the most newest Star Wars live action show that just came out. Um, I give it's in my fifth as my favorite because I like the way that it's set up. I like the way that it started. Everything was going to be perfect. I don't like the plot, or like I'm not gonna say I don't essentially like the plot, but I don't like the way that each episode was set up. Because essentially we were in one timeline. Next episode we were in another timeline. Next episode we went back behind the timeline, and then they just immediately cut it off. I don't like that. I just can't. I don't like that at all. I don't.
Yeah, I, they just I don't know. They weren't.
Mhm.
I don't really understand because
Mhm.
I feel like it would be hard to like mess up, like just be that bad at storytelling. But I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one then of my top five, so that way we can keep things moving. Um, I'm gonna say so. I know this is kind of a difficult top five for me, but I'm essentially going to have a tie for my fourth favorites, and the tie is actually going to be between the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. And the reason why I say the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan is a tie because the Boba Fett one had a lot of potential, but I feel like they kind of messed him up a little bit. And I didn't like the way that they kind of made him a little bit more softer. I understand, even Boba Fett in his prime is the most fearless bounty hunter in the Star Wars universe, and anybody can argue with me with that, but they're going to lose. There's no question. He is the most fearless bounty hunter in the Star Wars lore. And I just there's a lot of things I would like to have done differently with the Book of Boba Fett, especially just understanding a little bit more of why he became a little bit more humble in his older age. And then he becomes a daimyo for Mos Espa. So it just I feel like there could be a little bit more done. And then the Obi-Wan book, I liked it a lot. I really wanted to see a lot of what more Obi-Wan did in his isolation in Tatooine, and I feel like they didn't touch about that at all. I really loved the way of how him and Darth Vader at the end of the episodes and stuff were able to have that great fight. That was probably one of the most fearless lightsaber fights in Star Wars, and we were able to see the one and only time Vader actually get damaged again which that's just, excuse me, not a lot of people have ever seen Vader get damaged and stuff. So
No. Yeah, that was yeah. That was what's the word? Um that was powerful and emotional and just it was just great to see. It was great to see.
hmm So then my next one, we'll move on to, well, I'm gonna say a firm number 3 is the Mandalorian. And the reason why I say the Mandalorian, hear me out, everybody, is because I really loved everything about the Mandalorian until season 3, and they made it not really about the Mandalorian. They made it more about Bo-Katan and Boba Fett. I really wasn't a fan of that, and that was probably the only thing that like I personally did not like with that. But I feel like everything else about Mandalorian was absolutely perfect. We were able to see separatist battle droids in first action, which that's never ever been heard of. Um, and we were able to see a lot of different stuff with the Creed, with the Mandalorian, another species of Yoda and Yaddle as a child, and seeing him use the Force. We got to see Dark Troopers. We got to see a lot of crazy, crazy stuff that not only we have not seen from the movies, but we only saw in the TV shows. So I really, that'll probably be the only thing about Mandalorian that I wanted to change.
Yeah. I completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So then my next one, and essentially these are going to be all the tie. I just want to kind of reiterate one couple things, and this is like the honorable mentions of number 1 and 2. Bad Batch, honorable mention by far. Everything I loved about Bad Batch was perfect. Loved it. The character development within Bad Batch, even some of the deaths, some of the just everything about it. I absolutely loved Bad Batch. So that was one, and then the other 2 I wanted to kind of reiterate was Tales of the Jedi. There's only 6 episodes, about 10 minutes each. Everything of those little snippets we saw of Tales of the Jedi, going from Ahsoka as a child, Ahsoka training for Order 66, to seeing Count Dooku and Mace Windu in action, and seeing Yaddle in action too. Perfect. Everything was perfect. And then Tales of the Empire too. That was another episode or another little couple shows I loved seeing, just because we were able to see Barriss Offee really grew from, even though she was a Jedi, she became bad and then turned back into a Jedi and then became essentially just in the middle. And just seeing like little things, especially with Morgan Elsbeth and how she was able to grow and become favorable within the Night Sisters and with Thrawn. I loved it. Everything about it was perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they did a really good job with those short stories.
Yes.
And hope they do some more. There are a lot of people they could touch on.
Yes. Oh, for sure. For sure. The next one I'm going to say is on my number 2, for sure, is Ahsoka. Loved every bit of Ahsoka because Ahsoka was a character who came from the Star Wars Clone Wars, which is arguably, if not the best cartoon show of all time. Ahsoka made things great because not only we got to see Ahsoka in her prime, but we also were able to see what had happened after the ending of Rebels. And if nobody didn't really understand what Ahsoka was looking for and why was she so significant, I mean, we even got to see Captain Rex in live action, the clones in live action from the Star Wars Clone Wars. We also got to see the wonderful Hayden Christensen come back and be a Anakin and during the Clone Wars, or as his outfit is, General Skywalker. We were able to get to see a live action of that, and we were also able to see one of my favorites, essentially the world in between the worlds. And seeing that with Ahsoka going back to her past, seeing everything about Ahsoka was perfect, and I'm thoroughly excited what they're going to do for the next season.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, honestly, I can't wait. It's gonna be insane.
Yes, yes. And then the last one as always, this is a clear number one for me. Is Andor. Andor is essentially the best live action show in Star Wars that's ever been produced. And the reason why I say that is because Andor, you get to see a birth of a rebellion happen, and you get to go behind the scenes of really seeing of how it happened. You also get to see the political aspect of Star Wars. People sneaking around, doing different things, doing little raids. It's like little rebellions being made here and there, and we get to see it really build up what's going to happen in Andor season 2, and how that builds up all the way to Rogue One. So Andor is 1,000% my number one.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good ranking. Really good ranking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Now, Harry, we'll go ahead and turn it off to you. You go and tell us about your what you got for your rankings now.
All right, mine's gonna look a little bit different. Not a whole lot, but it's gonna look a little bit different. Obviously, we're thinking the same with show at the bottom of the list. It's there's really no argument. It's The Acolyte. Mm-hmm. It just started out promising, had its good moments, but ultimately it just fell on its head, and just the story was just all over the place, didn't make sense half the time. And then, like, at times where you should have told a certain part of a story, it's almost like, oh, hey, let's flash back to something that happened 20 million years ago. Well, I mean, yesterday. But let's tell from a different point of view, because we feel like you didn't get it even though you got it, but we're going to act like you're dumb and didn't pick up on anything, so we're going to retell it, basically, for some more screen time in an extra episode. And, I don't know, stuff like that I just don't really understand, and I don't really see the need for. So yeah, action wise, one thing I will say that these Star Wars shows do well is the action sequences. Stories aren't always great, but in terms of action, they're always knocking it out of the park. So I will say any lightsaber fights or anything like that, they did a great job with. Especially, I forget which episode it was, but especially where it opens up with them in the forest there, and Bro was just chopping up all the Jedi. Yeah, that was insane. I will say that was insane.
I agree.
And yeah, the choreography was great. Action was great. So yeah, they're always doing well with their action. Just need to kind of work on the storytelling aspect.
Yeah, and if I don't recall, I think what he did is it has the most, or he hit the record of the most killed Jedi or killed people on screen, maybe, in live action for Star Wars. I don't know for sure. That may be something that we're gonna have to look up later, but that's wild to me.
Yeah, I can see where that would be the case, because I guess the previous record was maybe Sidious. Took out the four of them.
Oh, yeah.
That might have been the previous record for most Jedi killed on screen at once. Because the Battle of Geonosis, I don't really count that.
Yeah,
it's a little different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess probably Sidious was the other previous record there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, what you got next for us? We're eager to hear this list, Ariel.
All right, next. I'm gonna have to say Book of Boba Fett. I'm gonna have to. Episode 1 was great. It was truly the Book of Boba Fett, but after that, it became the misadventures of the Mandalorian and sprinkles of Boba Fett. I love the Mandalorian, but this was kind of Boba Fett show. I like that they connect, but you just gave us like 90% Mandalorian, 10% Boba Fett.
Right.
So that was kind of an issue for me, and then they they really, like you said, they really made Boba Fett soft, and like that's not how we know him, and that's not why he's a fan favorite. I mean, yeah, sure, as you get older, yeah, you can soften up a bit, I guess, but like he's always been like a formidable force, like the top bounty hunter in the
Mm-hmm.
galaxy. So like now he's just kind of going around like some old dude, and that's
Right.
I don't know. They shouldn't really have done that. And yeah, after episode one, not a whole lot happened that I loved. I did
hmm
like seeing Cad Bane. That was great. I love
I
seeing him
forgot
in
about
live
Cad
action.
Bane. Oh, I did forget about Cad
Yeah,
Bane.
yeah, I really like seeing him in live action because previously I'd just seen him in like Clone Wars. So yeah, it was great seeing him. And yeah, overall, I enjoyed most of the show, but like I said, it was ended up being mostly about the Mandalorian again. So
Right. Right.
yeah, a little too much of him, but that's hopefully if they do it a second season, they'll kind of listen to everybody and they'll focus on Boba Fett instead. Oh man. Okay, next on my list, things are getting a little interesting here. Mm, I'm gonna have to say. So I'm gonna go back to the. So I'm gonna pull away from the live actions for a second, and
hmm
I'm gonna go to some cartoons.
Let's hear it.
Next
Let's
on my
hear it.
list, I'm gonna put. This is crazy, but I'm gonna put Tales of the Empire specifically.
Oh.
I think Tales of the
Oh.
Jedi was the better series of the two. I think
Mm-hmm.
Tales of the Empire had its high notes, but ultimately I don't know, it just wasn't. I just didn't feel the emotional connection that I felt with the Tales of the Jedi series, with this Tales of the Empire. It was good, but ultimately just didn't hold the same weight for me
Mm-hmm.
personally.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
That's interesting, Harry, that you say the Tales of the Empire specifically. I did hear a lot of people wasn't much of a fan of the Tales of the Empire, and especially didn't love with the expectations of Tales of the Jedi.
right.
But no, that's I like that. I like that one, Harry. I like that one for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And the next, I'm gonna stick with cartoons here.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm gonna hop over to live action real quick. No, no, let's. Okay, I do
Uh
need to cover this.
oh.
Um, one I kind of forgot about, if I'm being honest, but Star Wars Visions. Um, so they had two seasons of
Oh.
it. It was a lot of. They had a lot of like. It was like a lot of anime and stuff, a lot of Japanese
Mm-hmm.
cartoony stuff.
I forgot
Overall,
about.
I really enjoyed it. I really did. Um, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, it looked great, art was great, storytelling was great, but also at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, that's that type of that type of that type of show is more tailored towards obviously the Asian population because that's stuff they're really used to and
Right. Right.
that they watch a lot. So that's why I'm putting it at that point in my tier list. But yeah, it was honestly, it was. I thought it was pretty good, and I thought they did well with the storytelling for sure.
Mm. Okay. I may need to look into Visions. I'm not sure if I've seen Visions yet.
Yeah, it's solid. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
is.
I'm gonna write down my list.
All right, next one, kind of maybe controversial, maybe, but I'm putting Obi-Wan Kenobi next on the list.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So for those of you that didn't know, Obi-Wan is my favorite character.
That makes sense though.
And when they announced this show, I was like so excited. Um, and I went to I unfortunately I went to the show with like pretty high expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I kind of knew the story that they could tell. Um, ultimately, that wasn't the story that we got. At least that I didn't get. I think where this story fell flat was the fact that I think it was a bit too much of Obi-Wan and young Leia.
Mm-hmm.
I think that dynamic made up too much of the show. It was too much chasing her around and stuff and whatever and doing little side quests and all that stuff. And it pulled away from the story that should have been going on, which is, the connection between Obi-Wan and of course Anakin.
Right.
And
Right.
just Obi-Wan in those later years trying to convene through the Force with Qui-Gon and all that stuff. I think they should have tried to stay true to that instead of veering off like they did. But overall, I did enjoy the show, and anytime Vader was in it was great, obviously, and anytime the two of them dueled was absolutely incredible. So yeah, great show, but unfortunately that's where it's going to be on my list as of now.
Solid. I like it though. I like the list. I like it.
All right, got a couple more here. So in terms of live action, I've got Andor, Ahsoka, and Mandalorian left. And then if I go back to a couple animated series, we got The Bad Batch, and of course Clone Wars.
Oh, well, we already know Clone Wars is always
Rebels.
going to be.
And we got Rebels. Of
Oh
course.
yeah, Clone Wars and Rebels are always going to be given a number 1 and number 2.
Oh yeah.
Especially with Dave Filoni as the producer. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right, so next on my list, I'm gonna put specifically. I'm gonna put Ahsoka there.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Ahsoka there, and the reason I have the Mandalorian ahead of Ahsoka is because season 1 and 2 was incredible.
Oh.
That's the reason it's ahead of Ahsoka. If I factor in season 3, which I'm just in a way trying to ignore, it would be further down my list. But because season 1 and 2 was so great, I have it above Ahsoka, and I've got Ahsoka in the current spot. So yeah, I loved Ahsoka. If I'm being honest, I loved it. Yeah, there was an episode here and there that was kind of dull, but overall, I thought it was a great show. The story they're trying to tell, they did a great job. Dave Filoni, obviously the GOAT.
Yes.
Pretty much
obviously.
knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
And getting to see Grand Admiral Thrawn live action, that was absolutely insane.
Yes.
And obviously,
yes.
I think one thing they actually did well that a lot of these shows are missing is they're actually building up to the next thing.
Yes.
A lot of them they just kind of end abruptly, and you're not expecting much. But this one actually ended with a nice little cliffhanger that'll move us into either another season of Ahsoka or into like Heir to the Empire or something.
Right.
So yeah, Ahsoka, really good, loved it. Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, man, great. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think they were my favorite characters in the show. I think the two of them were probably my favorite characters. They're just so interesting and mysterious, and we just don't know a lot about them. But they're like, I don't know. I loved them. So they were my favorite characters. Obviously, my favorite part of the show. Going into the world between worlds, seeing Anakin in his Clone Wars attire, and then that part where he's walking up towards Ahsoka, and you get like the thunderclap, and like he like switches between like him in his Clone Wars outfit, then him as Darth Vader. That was
Ooh, it gets chills.
That one gets me every time. It gets me every time. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. So yeah, that's why I've got that one where I have it. So yeah, overall great show. And then yeah. Man. Even has my eyes watering. It was so good.
I know. You just made me.
Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was a great show.
Yeah.
Great scene. Yeah, that was insane. The next on my list, we're gonna put The Mandalorian. Obviously, I kind of touched on that. Seasons 1 and 2 were great. Loved it. Loved every bit of it. Especially season 2. That one was really good. And then obviously, chapter 16, you get Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
That was
That
special.
Ooh,
That was special.
it reminds me of Vader in the end of Rogue One.
Yeah.
And it just gave me the resemblance of like chills when he came out the elevator. The rebels are ready, and aka Vader was ready, and just seeing him as Luke, because I think at that time Luke was the most feared person in the galaxy because he was in his prime, just defeated Vader and the Emperor, and helped blew up the Death Star. I think he was the most feared person in the galaxy at that time.
Yeah.
And that just,
Yeah.
man, gives me chills.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so after Mandalorian, I'm gonna hop back up to the animated shows super quick. I think, because I think I just got Andor left in terms of live actions.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna hop up to animated shows again real quick, and next on my list, I'm gonna throw in. I think I'm gonna throw in Rebels. I think Rebels is gonna be next. Obviously, I absolutely loved it. One thing I will say is, when I first saw like advertising and stuff for it, I was like, okay, this is a kids show. I'm never gonna watch it.
Me too.
And I actually didn't even tune in till it was probably season 3 that I actually started watching the show. And obviously they had tons of episodes before then. So I had to catch up. But like, I literally don't think I tuned in till season 3, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, once I started watching, I was absolutely hooked. Love the characters. The show's great, and yeah. So that's where it's at on my list. The next up, I'm probably gonna put the Bad Batch. I think I'm gonna put the Bad Batch next. It's basically their third. Yeah, Bad Batch, so good. It's just so good.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. The characters, like, you love the characters. They develop them really well. Like, they're not just another clone. It's like you actually get to know them in every little aspect of them, which is great. And yeah, the final season was crazy.
Give me tears. Ooh wee.
I know, man. I know, it's crazy. But yeah, final season was great. Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, I've got Rebels, Bad Batch there at number 3.
Yeah.
Then number 2, dropping back down to the live actions, we're gonna finish it off with obviously Andor. I mean, just something special. Andor is something special. Let me tell you,
man.
I did not go into it with super high hopes. I know I was going to enjoy it, but I didn't think like I was going to love it like I really did.
Yeah.
When you think of Star Wars, obviously you think of lightsabers and blasters and spaceships and all that stuff. And I really loved the more grounded aspect, more down to earth, gritty, dark, political tone of Andor. And yeah, I think honestly they knocked it out of the park. Easily the best live action Star Wars production they've put out thus far. And yeah, cannot wait for season 2. I think it's going to be hopefully even better. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat Andor season 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they can beat that, then greatest. I mean, without a doubt, I don't think it'll ever be beat as the best live action Star Wars show ever.
Right.
Ever.
Right. 100%. 100%. And I know you kind of did touch base on a couple of the animated shows too. I always will say the Clone Wars and the Rebels are always going to be number 1 and number 2 in my heart. No matter what, I don't care what show, I don't care what you'll show me. I don't care if it's Game of Thrones. I don't care if it's any anime. I don't care if it's Criminal Minds. The Clone Wars is the best TV series show of all time.
Yeah, never gonna be beat.
Never.
I still remember. I still remember when I found out that first episode was going to drop. I was like,
we were young.
Like 08?
I think it started in 08. 08.
Yeah, I was 10 years old at the time, which is crazy.
And
I remember.
I tried my best to figure out ways just to watch the shows.
Yeah.
And then when it came out on Netflix, I binge watched it 24/7.
Yeah.
Even the unfinished shows.
Yeah.
And I really wish if Dave Filoni can finish those unfinished shows, because there was a lot of ones from season 7 that were missing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping, but
yeah,
only we could do is wish right now.
Yeah, honestly, he might touch on it. We shall see. I hope so. I really do.
Me too. So what else do we got here, Harry? What else are we gonna give the audience today? A nice little discussion.
Man,
I know you have baby duties too, so you know.
Yeah, I do. Briefly wanted to touch on Skeleton Crew.
Yes, let's hear it.
Obviously, we don't know a whole lot about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, are you able to pull up the trailer by chance?
You know what? Let's see. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull.
Yeah, if we could even knock out that trailer, I think it would be good. Because we don't know a whole lot about it right now, but looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and let me go ahead. Oh, we see final trailer. Let me just go ahead and just pause that real quick, and let's go ahead and share what we got. Let's go ahead and see what we got. All right, you ready? Here we go.
Ready.
Hello? I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Be careful where you step. We must find a way to get home before it's too late.
Tis dangerous out there in space. Trust no one.
We're lost. Really lost.
You're not just lost. You're being hunted.
I wonder that how did 4 younglings like yourselves end up lost in the Outer Rim?
You're a Jedi.
Those pirates won't hesitate to sell us to the highest bidder. And if they don't, the bounty hunters will.
Everybody run.
Where are you taking us, Master Jode?
It's been a long time since we met. My old friend.
Do not lose hope. The Force will guide us.
Wow. Well, that took me for a couple loopholes I did not expect.
Yeah.
Wow. That was very unexpected, actually.
Yeah. Man, that looks.
Wow.
Looks good. It's really good.
I'm very now. I was already excited to see the Skeleton Crew already, just because it's a mysterious thing. But now, since we have Boba Fett in here, a Jedi, which Master Jode, or did you say Master Jode? I think
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
and we saw the pirates. Do you think this timeline could match up to the Book of Boba Fett's timeline?
Honestly, probably. Yeah, I think it could. Because, it probably could.
Interesting.
I think so.
That would be. I think that would actually throw a wrench in a lot of people's theories with the Skeleton Crew, because we were able to see Boba Fett in his new armor, for one. We saw some of the pirates. We saw looks like a U-wing, I believe. I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research before I can give like a final like a prediction on Skeleton Crew, to be honest, because this trailer, I've already seen it, but I haven't really like done a thorough deep dive into the trailer just to understand it. I think I'm gonna have to really do some research on the Skeleton Crew. What's gonna be the timeline? What's the overall picture for it? I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research before I can give a prediction.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the actor, his name's Jude Law. His character, whatever his name is. So apparently he's a Jedi. I assume he has his lightsaber still. He's probably just kind of doing. They like to do a thing where like a Jedi's like not pulling out their lightsaber till some point in the show. Like they won't see them. You won't see him pull it out in a trailer. But I assume at some point in the show he will use his lightsaber. And these 4 kids, if they happen to be younglings or they happen to be force sensitive, what I think is going to happen is they're going to tie into kind of the future of Star Wars with like the Rey movie that we have coming out. I think in the next few years or something, where she's kind of redoing the old Jedi Order stuff, Jedi Temple and all that. I think that this show could kind of tie into that, where like he ends up maybe leading them to this new Jedi Order that Rey's putting together, and then she ends up, or maybe the 2 of them end up just kind of being like Jedi Masters and kind of like teaching all the younglings the Force and all that stuff. It could totally tie into that. And with a lot of these shows, they're all kind of set in the same, these live action shows, they're all kind of set in the same timeline. So I feel like with us obviously being between Return of the Jedi and the sequel trilogy, I feel like they could kind of branch that, then maybe hop over those 3 films, and then push it into the Rey movie that's coming out in the next few years, and kind of tie that into the new Jedi Order maybe, which would be kind of cool.
Right, and I agree with you 100% on that. And another thing that I also kind of wanted to just quickly touch base on was, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you see BD-8 or like a droid replica of BD-8, Cal Kestis droid from Jedi Survivor?
I think I did.
I wonder if we will see an older Cal Kestis, and they're not telling us, because Cal Kestis with Jedi Fallen Order, if we're not mistaken, takes place after Order 66 in that era. And this is taking place after the second Death Star blow up.
Right.
So, maybe we'll see an older Cal Kestis, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, they even, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but they pretty much broke news that he was going to be making his live action debut in a Disney Plus show in the near future. So, this could be it.
Yes.
It could be.
I'm hoping. I would love to see a live action Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
Especially since he's only just from a video game, and then they made him so much of a popular character. Now he could be a live action. I'm hoping we'll see that. I'm hoping we will.
Yeah, me too. And if he doesn't show up here, I think he'll definitely be in, maybe in Ahsoka season 2 if they do that. Maybe. If not there, then definitely Heir to the Empire. He'll show up for sure.
Oh, well, I can't wait for Heir to the Empire. That's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Well, Hario, I believe is that all that we had that we wanted to kind of touch base with today?
Yeah, I think it is actually. Yeah, we definitely covered a lot. A lot of good stuff too.
Yeah, we know we're always talking about Lego stuff. You know, they're coming out as always. Maybe I'm thinking about maybe one day. So I know you've been making your collection too as well. One thing I kind of wanted to say with me is that I'm making a Lego City right now, and it's in the process of being made. Can't really see it yet because I also am working on getting the table as like the dimensions, because I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do. I'm gonna have it lit up like my city and like the lights in the background with like my brick, and maybe I'm really hoping is that I will get to have the modular diner soon. That's a retired set, but that's probably the most coveted modular buildings that's ever been made. It's such a pretty set. It's overall pretty popular and everything, and I'm hoping I can get that, and I'm going to definitely create a train in my city too. I've got a couple makeshift ideas that I'm going to make for it. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's gonna look great. I can just say that much. It's gonna look great.
We're good. Well, Harry, I think that might be it today for us.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we covered a lot, and this baby has me running on fumes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I better say, I know you got a little bit of a window because I know it might be a feeding time. So,
yeah,
do hope. No, definitely, like I said, congratulations again on the baby.
Yep, thank you.
Happy for you and your wife. I can't wait to meet the little guy. I'm very excited to meet him.
Yeah, you can. I mean, we're pretty much, if I'm not at work, we're pretty much just home 24/7. So you can just swing by whenever. We'll be around probably.
Oh yeah, definitely stay safe out there too, because where we're at and we've been hearing with people in Florida, there's a little bit of a storm going on with the hurricane. So definitely, you all be safe up there. Make sure none of the hurricanes come after the Legos because those are precious.
Man, not a chance.
Oh, not at all. I feel that.
I'll save the Legos before I save myself. I take that back, but there are a few steps I got to get out before I get myself out for sure if anything happens.
Oh, yeah. You got to start building up some. Got to get that Lego AT-AT, which I need to get immediately.
Yeah.
Very soon. Might just go broke and just get it. Sorry, Mom.
I don't blame you.
But, we'll, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Man, just got to get one of those parlays to hit.
I know. Well, it's gonna hit soon. I already know it will. If I didn't, I'll make a smooth parlay for this weekend. I already know I will.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and get off here. So we'll go ahead and do our classic little jingle. Like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, share to your family members, share to your souls, share to your animals, just share to everybody for the channel. If you're always curious about Star Wars, more than welcome to just shoot us comments. We'll be happy to answer or talk about any type of topics that we'll have. We'll upload this to YouTube. We'll upload it to Spotify now too, under the Daily Oats. And with that being said, I am your co-host, Colton. Got my boy Harry on here. This is the Daily Oats. We'll see you guys later.
Take it easy, guys.